What's up? It's your boy Kazi, Cloak and Dagger plays, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys everything on how to play Cloak and Dagger. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with their role, Cloak and Dagger, they're a specialist, or in other words, a support. And don't get it confused, because unlike Overwatch, being a support in this game is much more impactful. Sure, you're healing part of the time, but that's not your whole entire battle plan. Basically, even while you're healing, there are chances where you can finish off the kills for your teammates if they can't reach them, apply debuff to enemies to make it so that your teammates have an easier time winning the fight, and so much more. Moving on, let's go over their abilities, and the first one we're going to go over with is Dagger. Her primary fire, it heals allies and damages enemies, and on top of that, it does have a bit of tracking. However, if the enemy or ally is moving too fast, or if they're using like certain abilities, like for example Scarlet Witch's Fade, you won't be able to lock on to them to hit them. And also, it does bounce off of walls as well. Her first ability allows her to switch into Cloak, and her second ability shoots out a wall of light that heals allies. And then her third ability shoots out a huge field of light, and allies in that light get healed over time. Moving on to Cloak, his primary fire is a life drain that continuously does damage to his target over time. His first ability allows him to switch into Dagger if needed, and then his second ability makes him go invisible and untargetable to everybody and gives him a bit of a movement boost. And then his third ability puts out a wall of darkness where if his enemies get hit by it, it does a bit of damage, it blinds them, and also puts a debuff on them so they can take more damage. And finally, let's talk about their ultimate. The only reason why I left their ultimate last is because they both have the same exact ultimate. The only difference is whoever starts the ultimate is the one who will stay out at the end. So basically, what their ultimate does is that they fly in 3 different directions of your choosing that you aim, and they leave a path on the ground. Any enemies in that path take damage, and any allies in that path get healed. Cloak and Dagger also have a special team up with Moon Knight where they give him a extra ability where he can put out a field, and whenever he's in that field, he is invisible for a couple of seconds. But do keep in mind that this does have a long cooldown, so use it sparingly. If you have made it this far into the video and want to dive further into the community, I do got a Discord link will be in the description below. There we talk about Marvel Rivals, anime, manga, and whatnot. And if you're interested, feel free to stop by. We'd love to have you. And finally, let's talk about their playstyle. If you haven't realized it yet already, Cloak and Dagger have 2 very different playstyles, where Dagger is the one that is keeping your team alive with all the heals that she has in her kit, while Cloak is the one that is debuffing your enemies and also potentially getting kills too as well. So while in a match and in neutral, typically you're going to be on Dagger throwing out heals to your allies, while also seeing if you can pick off some of the characters that are low squirming around on the battlefield. And occasionally you can switch over to Cloak and pop his wall of darkness to debuff the enemies and blind them, and possibly you or your allies can kill them off. When someone like, for example, Spider-Man or Iron Fist does try to flank you and try to pick you off, you can switch into Cloak, pop his wall of darkness to blind him, and then quickly reposition yourself and then see if you can like try to pick them off yourself or alert your teammates and let them know so they can help you out and finish them off a lot quicker. Cloak's Fade ability is also a really good way to avoid getting hit by ultimates because you're untouchable while in that state. Now, when you're deciding on the best time to pop your ultimate, I do want you guys to keep in mind that this ultimate is not an ultimate that's going to get a bunch of kills. What it's made to do and its purpose is to create a potential opening for your team to turn over the battle. That's what it's made to do, and it does exactly that. And just a quick refresher, the ultimate, you aim in 3 directions and create 3 paths that whenever an ally goes on top of it, they get healed, and whenever an enemy goes on top of that path, they take damage. So when popping your ultimate, I would recommend popping it when there's a group of enemies and allies bunched together. You just go ahead and pop it right in the middle of them, or you can also pop it as a way to corner off your enemies so they can't run away, or you can also pop it to like cut them off from a certain area so they can't get in there. And that's everything on how to play Cloak and Dagger. But if I did leave something out or you did discover something new about them, feel free to drop a comment below to share with everyone else to help each other out. And if you do want more Marvel Rivals on the channel, why don't you know I'm going to support your boy. But yeah, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.